good. I didn't want it to be too bright in here. Hello, how are y'all? So, this is for clients or whoever may be watching. I hope that this helps somebody. I want to show you guys a quick coffee spell to either remove someone's, or maybe a bad spirit, maybe someone's negative influence. Um, Finally, it pulls up. Interesting. I was gonna have like some music or something playing in the background, but for some reason the stuff wasn't pulling up. And so I said, let me hurry up because I got a lot of stuff to do. All right, and now I need to go and grab my charcoal. So this is a coffee spell that will remove someone's bad influence, okay? Off of, maybe out of your house, maybe even off of people around you, okay? I do suggest that if the situation is extremely negative, for you to do like a full workup, candle work, reversal work, um, maybe cleansing work, especially cleansing out your house. Um, but it depends on the situation. Okay. I am going to go and grab my charcoal though, because for some reason, I'm going to tell y'all something. These charcoal discs have been like not lasting very long. So give me a second. I'm going to go grab my charcoal because I know it's in here somewhere. Oh, okay. Now I have a whole box of them. What did I do with them? Interesting. Maybe I should put my glasses on. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, here they are. I'll just grab a new one. I have got the whole package, a whole roll of them. I just opened, but somehow they got misplaced. Okay. All right. So what you're going to need is a picture of the person. Okay, now you can put up to, I would say up to 5. I'd say that if you're doing any kind of working like this, I would say that you should limit it to only like 5 people. Some of y'all got a bunch of people that have a problem with you, which that would be considered a coven. But this is something that you can do kind of on the side just to quickly remove them. So you're gonna take photographs. If you have a picture, if you have a printer, that's fine. Okay, because paper dissolves, and that's where some of the magic can come in. So the first thing that you're gonna want to use, especially if you have a coffee maker, but if you just have instant coffee, you can use like just paper and instant coffee, okay? Or if you have coffee grinds, you can actually though use, how like when you get done using your coffee, like unless you guys have figured out some other type of practical life hack, typically we just throw these away. But since we don't necessarily have to waste them. And if you and also, so I would suggest having that, and then take maybe some leftover coffee that you may have in the coffee maker and just put it in a mason jar. You want to heat it up. Sometimes this coffee, like especially if you got some real stale coffee or either burnt coffee, like how like you and it's yeah. But this is just coffee that was sitting there cooling, and I actually warmed it up in a pot, and so it's pretty hot. Okay. You'll want a picture of the person, some twine, a lid. You can have a black candle or either a white candle. And you'll want to take that person's picture. And what do I do with that last one? Okay. So like I said, you can put up to 5 people in it. And so you're just going to take those pictures and fold it up in that coffee. Okay. You'll want to put like okay, so here's the pictures and here is the coffee thingy. Okay. So you'll want them to face the coffee. Okay. And you want to consecrate things, okay? Some people don't do that. I do that. I consecrate everything. So y'all see the smoke coming up, and I'm going to consecrate these pictures, these photographs as the images of these people. I banish any and all of their toxic, foul influence, any of their bad spirits out of my house, off of my children, away from my children, any danger or negativity that they may be bringing towards my children. If you have a husband or a man, you can say that I want their negative, foul influence off quickly. Okay, very quickly. Get them off this disgusting, bad energy, because it can get pretty disgusting. Okay. Out of my job, out of my reality, period. I want these enemies gone. Okay, very quickly. Okay, so I'm just going to sit this to the side. Now, in my coffee, if you only have coffee, then that's fine. But since I have an apothecary, I added cloves to this. Ooh, that's hot. I added cloves to this, as well as mugwort and some nettle leaf. Okay, so we're going to consecrate the coffee that's in here. And we want it to be very bitter. We don't want to add sugar to it, okay? So we're going to add salt. Okay, we're going to ask the coffee to remove the foul influences. You can speak more personal things into it, okay, once you get it done. But you're just going to fold those folks up within that coffee filter. And this is where it can get kind of challenging. So you can either, I would say fold it away from you. Okay, so fold it away from you, just like that, like a taco. Okay, fold it away from you like a taco. And you see that? It looks like a taco, right? And you're going to take your binding cord and you're going to consecrate it to bind your intent to banish these people and their bad influences and their negative, toxic influence. Like I said, do this in addition, especially if you're a client, do this in addition to any work that I'm doing for you, seriously, especially when it comes to your house. Now, typically, when somebody has somebody negative around them, typically what people will do is they will go no contact. Even if you go no contact, people will leave residual energy behind in spirits. Typically, what you're dealing with is very domineering spirits that want control. Okay, so you just take them and you bind them up and you bind it away from you. Okay, and as you're doing that, you're going to focus on what you want, flip it over, and continue to do it away from you. Okay, you can use more string if you want. Kind of try to fold up the sides, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, and you just want to repeat, I banish this toxic negative energy out of my life very quickly by the power of this coffee and this salt. All of the negative energies and bad spirits of these enemies, their demons, their influence, their intent is banished, and I bind it. And so you see how that's folded over like a taco. And then I always do the Celtic knot binding, you guys. So by knot of 1, the spell binding has begun. By knot of 2, it cometh true. By knot of 3, so mote it be. By knot of 4, this power I store. By knot of 5, the spell binding is alive. By knot of 6, it begins. By knot of 6, this spell I fix. By knot of 7, events I will leaven. By knot of 8, it is fate. And by knot of 9, what's done is mine. And by knot of 10, it begins. Okay, so bind it. You can use 10. 9 or 10 is fine for the Celtic knot binding. And then you can even, just to make sure there's nothing hanging down, you can bind it over on the other side and just tie a knot, okay, is what you do, okay? And then we're going to pop this down in here, and then hopefully it doesn't overflow. Okay, just going to pop this down in here. You can also go a bit further because on a few of these, I took black. Yeah, we may have to pour some of this out because it's getting ready to overflow. And that's okay too. You know, you don't always have to do everything. You know, sometimes this happens. But it's kind of difficult to get it down in there because a few of these photographs I actually took black. What do you call that? Black candle wax, and I sealed and covered. And there's even a little bit of hot foot powder that's going to be in here too. Give me a second. Let me pour some of this out because this is going to overflow. Okay. Shit. There we go. All right. Maybe do it over the sink. All right. I'm coming back. All right. And now this is where you focus. Like I said, you can either use your voice or either your mind. I'm going to add some Palmarosa essential oil to it as well. You know, especially if you have somewhat of like somebody that doesn't want to let go, like maybe whoever. And so you can put a couple of drops of that. But if you only have coffee and that's it, coffee and salt, then you can use that. And you just want to focus on your intent. Okay, any and all toxic negative energies is banished through time and through space. And, you know, basically the coffee and the water is going to serve as a vessel. Now, you don't want to keep this in your house any longer than a few days, sometimes a week. I would say something like this to get it out of your house. Should you throw it in the dumpster? You can. A lot of people like to go a little bit further and throw it in a lake or either a large body of water. I sometimes am a little opposing to that because of the pollution of water of our lakes and rivers and oceans. Okay. But, you know, I mean, when you think about it, if it goes to the, you know, the trash lot, it's, you know, it's kind of the same thing. But, you know, you know, use your own judgment. You can bury it in the woods as well, but just get it out of your house. Let it work its magic. You may feel an immediate relief, okay, from this, okay? Or you may see immediate changes. You'll want to speak whatever you want, and you'll want to ask the water to move it, okay? Move it out, okay? And that's whatever it is, and you want to be very specific about it, okay? And then we're just going to put the top on it, and then bless it be, okay? Now, like I said, take the time to actually work the jar. You don't really have to shake it up. I would let it be still. Something like this, you don't want to necessarily shake up. Okay, you don't want to do that. But yeah, I would do that and then continue to clean your house because sometimes, you know, negative people will bring negative things into your house. I would leave this one alone. If you forget about somebody, like if it's somebody else that you need to put in there, just start over with a new jar. Next time you make a pot of coffee, you can start off with a new jar and just put another person in there. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't add anybody to this. I would leave it closed. Now, another thing you can do is you can simmer it like on the stove to activate the power. But a lot of times, if you stick a candle over this, I found that the whole jar will get warm. If I put a candle or even a tea light over it, like the whole jar will just get warm. But just make sure that you get it out of your house. So don't forget to get it out of your house after, at least a week. Okay. After you work on it, when you're satisfied, like I would wait until, okay, so here's the rule of thumb on this one. I would wait until the situation is fixed. As soon as you see that bad energy is gone, okay, whatever it is, sometimes it can be pretty major, okay? But once you see that it's gone, then that means that it's done its job and it's time to either toss it, bury it. Like I said, if you're going to put anything in the woods, I would say bury it, okay? Or like I said, like a lot of people do, they'll put it in the ocean, they'll put it in a river or a stream or a lake. I don't like that. Like, but I'm a water baby, so, but it is what it is, okay? You got to do what you got to do. I'm sure that the water spirits will forgive you, okay? All right, guys, that's pretty much it. I got to go. I hope that this helps you guys. I'll see y'all later. Blessed be.